Grocery shopping when you live alone is strange. You walk past families loading up carts, you see couples debating which cereal to buy, and there you are with your small basket, buying just enough for one. For a long time, shopping alone made me feel self-conscious, like I was doing something wrong, like the checkout person was judging my tiny haul. But I've figured it out now. And honestly, shopping for one can actually be simpler, cheaper, and less stressful than shopping for a crowd. Today I'm walking you through exactly how I grocery shop living alone at 68, what I buy, how often I go, and the little tricks that keep me from wasting food or money. If you're new here, welcome to Solo Senior Living. I share real food and real life when you're senior and solo. Hit subscribe if that sounds like you. All right, let's talk about grocery shopping. First thing you need to know, I don't shop once a week anymore. I used to. For decades, Saturday morning was grocery day. One big trip, one full cart, enough food to last 7 days. That worked when I was feeding a family. It doesn't work now. Here's why. When you buy a week's worth of groceries for one person, things go bad. That bag of spinach? You eat 2 handfuls and the rest turns to slime. The bread gets moldy before you finish the loaf. The bananas go from green to brown faster than you can eat them. And then you feel guilty. You wasted food. You wasted money. You failed at something as basic as buying groceries. So I stopped. Now I shop 2, sometimes 3 times a week. Small trips. Just what I need for the next few days. And everything changed. My typical shopping schedule looks like this. Monday or Tuesday, I do my main shop. This is when I buy proteins, staples, anything that lasts a bit longer. Thursday or Friday, I do a quick top-up. Fresh vegetables, fruit, bread, whatever I ran out of. And sometimes, if I'm passing the store anyway, I'll grab 1 or 2 things. Milk, eggs, a tomato. This sounds like more work, right? More trips, more effort. But here's the thing, each trip takes 15 minutes. I'm not wandering the whole store. I know exactly what I need. I grab it and leave. And I'm never carrying heavy bags long distances or hauling groceries upstairs all at once. It's lighter, easier on my back, my knees, my energy. So what do I actually buy? Let me walk you through a typical main shopping trip. Proteins first. I usually buy 2 or 3 proteins that'll last me through the week. Chicken thighs, maybe a pound, pound and a half. I'll use some fresh, freeze the rest. Ground turkey. Half a pound, sometimes a full pound if it's on sale. This goes into soups, meatballs, quick dinners, eggs. Always eggs. A half dozen is enough. I don't need a full dozen anymore because they sit too long. And sometimes fish, a piece of salmon or tilapia, something I can cook fast on a night when I don't feel like waiting. I don't buy huge family packs anymore. Even if they're cheaper per pound, they're not cheaper if half of it goes bad. I buy what I'll actually use. Next, vegetables. This is where I used to waste the most money. I'd buy all these vegetables with good intentions. Broccoli, peppers, zucchini, carrots, lettuce. Then I'd use a little bit of each and watch the rest wilt in the crisper drawer. Now I'm smarter. I pick 2, maybe 3 vegetables per trip. That's it. This week, carrots and cherry tomatoes. That's all I need. The carrots last forever, so I can use them all week in soups, roasted, or just as a snack. The cherry tomatoes go into salads, pasta, or onto a sheet pan with chicken. I also keep frozen vegetables on hand. Peas, green beans, mixed vegetables. They don't go bad, they're already prepped, and honestly, they're just as nutritious as fresh. Sometimes I'll grab a bag of pre-washed spinach or a head of lettuce if I'm feeling like salads. But I've learned that if I buy lettuce, I need to commit to eating it within 3 days, or it's just going to become compost. Fruit is tricky. Fruit goes bad fast when you live alone. So I've learned to buy strategically, bananas. But only 2 or 3, not a whole bunch. If the store gives me a weird look for breaking off just 2 bananas, I don't care anymore. I'm not wasting 4 brown bananas. An apple or 2. They last longer in the fridge. And sometimes berries, but only if I know I'm going to eat them that day or the next. Berries don't wait. Frozen fruit is also my friend. I keep a bag of frozen blueberries or strawberries for oatmeal. They last forever and taste just as good. Dairy and staples. I buy small. Milk. A quart, not a half gallon. I'll finish a quart before it goes bad. A half gallon? Never. Butter. One stick at a time, even though they come in packs of 4. I freeze the extras. Cheese. A small block, or sometimes just the pre-shredded bag because, let's be honest, I'm not shredding cheese at 8 p.m. when I'm making quesadillas. Yogurt. A 4-pack, not the big tub. The big tub always goes bad before I finish it. Bread. This one's tough because I can't eat a whole loaf before it molds. So I either buy half loaves if the store has them, or I freeze half the loaf as soon as I get home. Rice, pasta, oats. I buy these in normal sizes because they last forever and I use them regularly. Canned goods. Tomatoes, beans, broth. I keep a few on hand, but I don't stockpile like I used to. I don't have the space and I don't need it. And then there's the stuff I don't buy anymore. No more bulk anything unless it's something that truly doesn't go bad. Rice, sure. Chicken breasts from Costco? No, I'll never finish them. No more deals that aren't actually deals when you're cooking for one. Buy one, get one free sounds great until you realize you didn't need 2 in the first place. I also don't buy a lot of pre-made meals anymore. They're expensive, they're salty, and honestly, I can make something just as easy in the same amount of time. The one exception? Rotisserie chicken. That's my shortcut. I'll grab one every couple of weeks, pull the meat off, and use it in soups, salads, quesadillas. It's cheaper and easier than cooking a whole chicken myself. Now let's talk about the actual shopping experience. I go early, usually right when the store opens, around 8 a.m. Fewer people, quieter, no one rushing me. The aisles are calm. I bring my own bags. Not because I'm trying to save the planet, though that's nice, but because they're easier to carry and they don't rip halfway to the car like plastic bags do. I have a list, always. It's not elaborate, just a note on my phone or a scrap of paper. But without it, I wander. I forget things. I buy things I don't need because they look good. The list keeps me focused. I also know my store layout. I don't zigzag all over the place anymore. I start on one side, work my way through, and I'm done. Produce, proteins, dairy, staples. Out, 15 minutes, maybe 20 if it's busy. At checkout, I don't do self-checkout anymore. I used to, thinking it was faster. But those machines stress me out. They beep at me. They don't recognize my bags. They make me feel rushed and flustered. Now I just go to a regular cashier. It takes the same amount of time, and I get to say hello to another human being. Sometimes that's the only conversation I have all day, and that matters more than saving 90 seconds. I pay. I pack my bags the way I want them packed, not the way some teenager thinks they should be packed. Cold things together, heavy things on the bottom, bread on top so it doesn't get squished. Small things, but they make the trip home easier. When I get home, I put things away immediately. I used to leave the bags on the counter and deal with them later, but later never came, or I'd forget what I bought and things would sit out too long. Now it's immediate. Groceries in, bags folded, done. And here's a habit that saved me so much waste. As soon as I put groceries away, I prep anything that needs prepping. If I bought chicken, I portion it right then. Some in the fridge for this week, some in the freezer in individual portions. If I bought carrots, I wash them and put them in a container so they're ready to grab. If I bought bread, half goes in the freezer. This takes an extra 10 minutes, but it means I actually use what I bought. I'm not pulling out a frozen chicken breast and realizing I forgot to separate them and now they're all stuck together in one giant block. The money part. People ask me, how much do you spend? It depends on the week, but usually between $30 and $50 per main trip. Another 10 or 15 on the top-up trip. So maybe $60, $70 a week, sometimes less. That's so much cheaper than when I was buying for a family, but it's also cheaper than when I first started living alone and was still shopping like I had a full house. I wasted so much money back then. Buying things I didn't need, letting things go bad, buying in bulk because it seemed smart but then not using it. Now I spend less and waste almost nothing, and that feels better than any sale ever did. Here's what I've learned about grocery shopping alone. It's okay to buy small amounts. The cashier doesn't care that you're only buying 3 things, I promise. It's okay to go more often. 2 small trips are easier than 1 giant exhausting trip. It's okay to skip the deals if the deal doesn't actually help you. And it's okay to let go of how you used to shop. You're not feeding a family anymore. You're feeding you. And that's different. It requires different strategies, different amounts, different thinking. But once you figure it out, it's actually kind of freeing. You buy what you want. You waste less, you spend less, and you're not dragging heavy bags around or stressing about food going bad. So that's how I grocery shop living alone at 68. 2 trips a week, small amounts, a list, early mornings, and zero guilt about breaking off just 2 bananas. It works for me. It might not work for everyone. But if you're struggling with grocery shopping solo, maybe some of this will help. If this was useful, give it a like. Share it with someone else who's figuring out how to shop for one. Subscribe to Solo Senior Living for more real talk about cooking and living when you're senior and solo. New videos every Monday and Thursday. Drop a comment and tell me, what's your biggest grocery shopping challenge living alone? I'd love to hear what trips you up. And if you're standing in a grocery store right now with your small basket feeling self-conscious, stop. You're doing great. I'll see you in the next one. Keep living well.